We made it!
Hello, everybody. We got some technical difficulty going on here, but good morning and welcome to the Dr. Simonds Metabolics and Weight Loss. Ask Me Anything Facebook Live. We are open today in both locations, as we always are on Monday, most Mondays. We won't be open next Monday. So the Ask Me Anything
We're here.
Facebook Live event, and
Michelle,
we are here.
Nurse practitioner,
That's right.
Always here.
That's right.
Always.
Yes.
We've had
so
other
we got
guests.
Michelle Kennedy. For those of you who don't know her, she's a nurse practitioner here at Dr. Simonds Metabolics and Weight Loss, and I'm Dr. Simonds. We are giving away today, as usual, a $25 Target gift card.
Yeah.
So
we ask you to do two things in order to be eligible for the gift card. Go ahead and like this video and then comment hashtag SimonsAMA in the comment section. We'd also love to hear any other comments you have or any questions that we can answer live. But we did get some really great questions, and thank you for bearing with us. I know we're a little late. It's a true Monday when it comes to technology, but this will be recorded. So you can share it, go back to it, and we should probably jump in because we got some really good questions.
Let's do the deed. You want to start out?
Yeah, I'll start with Jessa from Durham. Asks, I've been hearing a lot about collagen peptides. Are they really worth it? What are they exactly, and what types do you recommend? So patients of mine will know that I do recommend collagen quite a bit. So collagen is a compilation of certain amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins that are a little bit different than muscle proteins. So the collagen proteins are more from like the cartilage and the bones of animals, and they help our cartilage and bones, also really good for skin, hair, and nails, as well as gut health. It is really saturated now. I generally go back to the powder. It's the most concentrated collagen powder.
Yeah, I'm a powder guy myself.
Yeah. So thank you for that question. That was a good one. And yes, I do recommend it. Generally, I will say 10 grams twice a day. So maybe in your morning beverage, you put one in, and then maybe in your yogurt in the afternoon or an afternoon cup of tea or something like that. They can also help with appetite control. And there are amino acids in there that can help with cravings as well. So I'm a big fan.
It's tasteless, so you can mix it in just about anything.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, you want to take Kira?
Yeah, Kira from Apex. Look, she says, I'm in my 40s. We hear this a lot, by the way, and I've continued to struggle with the same 15 pounds, gaining and losing since my 20s. It's like my body wants to be the higher weight. How can I combat this? Well, you are the rule and not the exception. Your body has set points, and it's trying to take you to those set points. So it's a biological thing. Yeah. And you got to work hard. The bad news is you got to work hard. Yeah. Okay. You can't, there's no, there's no days off when it comes to this stuff. You got to pay attention to exactly, it comes down to the things that we teach here. Okay. So, there's got to be some behavioral change. You can't have your cake and eat it too. It's just not the way it works. It's tough. This is part of life. If you could just eat what you wanted, we'd all be good, right? Okay. Eat and drink, we'd all be good, but you can't. Okay. So it's got to be a commitment to behavioral change. 2, you got to have a nutrition plan. 3, you got to have a physical activity plan. And 4, if you need medication, we got it. And you need that. So if you're going to lose that 15 pounds and keep it off, the finish line is in fact the grave. And you will work the entire time, just like you have to monitor your checking account. You can't just go writing checks, flippantly, or you'll bounce them. Okay, so even people with a lot of money in their accounts still have an idea of what that amount is, and they don't go down and buy a $10 million yacht, for example, and say, "Oh, I like that one. I'll just write you a check." No, they're not going to do that without a lot of calculation first. Okay. And if you don't have much money, you're certainly not going to go down and spend a ton of money at one time. You're going to think that through. And this is the mindset you're always going to have about food. This is a calculation, right? Your intake is a calculation. And this is something you got to be on the ball about. And you can't just be on the ball for 3 months to get ready for someone's wedding. Okay. And get the pictures and all that, or for the summertime and the bathing suit. No, this is a lifetime job. You live in the United States. If you were living, for example, in a remote part of the Philippines, and you were a missionary there, you would be worried about where to find food. Okay. Here, there is an abundance of food and a lot of the wrong kind of food.
Overabundance.
Yes. And so it's an obesogenic environment, and you cannot turn your back on this stuff. You've got to be aggressive about it. So that 15 is always going to be hard, and you're going to have to condition yourself for the long run to address that through those 4 modalities I talked about.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. See, we have Charlie and
So welcome. This is Dr. Simonds weight loss, ask me anything. Live Facebook show. We got Charlie and Laverne and Julie joining. Thank you. We appreciate it. Make sure to register for the $25 gift card.
We'll draw the winner this end of this.
At the end of this,
episode.
So you have to like it, and in the comment section, you write hashtag Simonds AMA. Right?
Yep. We get a question as well. Are they frozen? Oh, yes, we were frozen. It wasn't just you, but we're back now. Hopefully back to stay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Good question, Kiera. Thank you for that. So April from Clayton is asking, can you tell me more about the weight loss prescription that your office offers? Do they work by mainly suppressing appetite, or do they have other benefits?
Depends on what you're talking about.
Yeah, it depends. Most of them have more than one benefit. That's the nice thing is it's not just appetite suppression. We're looking at a lot of different biological changes that these medications do, including metabolic rate increase. And really, we prescribe all of the FDA approved medications for weight loss. Right? There are some newer ones. There are some really tried and true ones that have been around for a while. They all have very good safety profiles. They are all generally tolerated very well, but it is important to have someone go through your medical history and do that metabolic assessment like we do in order to know which medication is appropriate for you.
And there's other, considerations that go with that. Some of them, for example, may cost more than others. And so there's a lot of factors in the making that decision, but the good news is that there are multiple medications that work and that are available, and we can find something to fit your scenario.
Yes.
And then there's a couple things that we use that are used to help people lose weight that aren't necessarily something for which a formal FDA approval was sought. So you might say for metformin and topiramate, for example, would be an example. In and of themselves, no one ever submitted a patent to the application to the FDA to get that approved, and it's okay. It still works, and providers like us around the country are using those all the time.
Yes,
they're cheap and they're inexpensive. So there's some that are FDA approved, some that have FDA approvals for other things that we use in this arena, and we can kind of match you with what you need. So there is help available. I can tell you, it's just that the kind of underlying premise of this is that. Look, if you take people who diet and they do the exact same diet, and one of them takes medications and the other one does not to help them lose weight, the one that takes the medication to help them lose weight will lose more weight. And that's the bottom line.
Absolutely. And it's not a weak will. It's not a personality flaw. It's just like if you take someone with very, very high blood pressure, lifestyle changes alone may not be able to bring their blood pressure down enough. But lifestyle changes plus medication, which we're very familiar with blood pressure medicines, a lot of people are on them, and we don't think twice about going on them or knowing someone who does. And we really need to have that same mindset when it comes to the medical condition related to weight. Because it's really not different. It's just that the weight one affects literally everything, including hypertension and blood pressure, whereas blood pressure affects, the cardiovascular system mainly, right? Yeah,
you can get more information about this sort of stuff at simonsmetabolics.com, or you can give us a call, make an appointment. If you're already a patient and you need to get back into the groove, come on, call us. That's what we're here for. And you can start back as a follow-up. We make that really easy. We're not going to judge you or anything like that. If you want to be a new start, you want to get enrolled, give us a call. We'll get you on the schedule. We'll get you started on this. It's got to start somewhere. Like I pointed out, it's really a lifetime job. So
it is. And there's no wrong time to start or right time to start. I've been so happy to see so many restarts and new starts coming in these past couple of weeks, which is a very challenging time of year. But I always give them such credit for not waiting until January.
That's right. Yeah.
Because there's no better time than the present to deal with your health. All right. Want to take Scott?
Scott from Morrisville, with the holiday season here. Can you tell me how to still enjoy alcoholic beverages or a cocktail while on keto? Well, okay. So,
I think a lot of people are thinking this question, but may not have asked it out loud. So it's good that we're addressing it.
I can't believe any of you drink alcohol. Shame on you.
I can believe it.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So first of all, yes, that's great if you don't drink them. But what I find is a lot of people who don't drink them will then say, well, I'm going to have some ice cream. And this is, something I've been guilty of in the past myself. I think, well, okay, if I don't have an alcoholic beverage, well, I can have got to be careful about this. Okay. When I say it's great if you don't do it, I don't mean try to substitute something in its place. Okay. Just don't do it. Right. Okay. So the alcohol is something that your body, while on a low carb diet, the body recognizes alcohol as poison. and it's going to stop doing what it's doing and deal with the poison first. And it's trained to do this. So it's just time where you're not getting the effects of a low carb diet. Think of it that way. Okay, until that stuff is metabolized and out of the way. But if you want to have it in moderation, here's what we suggest. We suggest something that doesn't have a bunch of carbs. So regular beers, out of the question.
Low carb beers?
That's right, yeah. Okay. If they have, less than, say, 4 grams of carbs, like a light beer, for example, that's acceptable to have 1 or maybe 2. If you want to have wine, not the real sweet wine like the Moscato or anything like that, but if you're talking about something like Chardonnay or Sauvignon Blanc, for example, or the whites, or if you're talking about Cabernet or Merlot on the reds, those things have about 1 gram of carb per ounce. So I like to keep people under about 8 ounces a day on that sort of thing. And then look, the hard liquor, okay? A lot of people like putting all sorts of sweet things in hard liquor. All right. And they'll even sell you hard liquor at the store that's got a bunch of sweet stuff in there. Okay. So don't buy those. But if you're going to buy the classic things like the bourbon, the gin, the vodka, just get the regular stuff without any added sweeteners in there, and don't add anything with sugar to it. And so you can drink them like an old man, I always say, like a guy like me would do, just put it over the rocks, right? Or you can add some club soda, for example, or a diet drink to it. Okay. And again, I don't think you really need to be having, it gets to be a caloric thing. Calorie wise, it matches up. Even actually, 4 ounces of the stuff is like drinking a 20-ounce Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
there
really
are more calories in alcohol per gram than there are anything else.
Yeah. So it's just better if you have a small amount and stop. That's the idea. Okay. And I realize every now and then there's a wedding or something like that where it's a big deal. You might have a little. Those are special occasions. As a general rule, small to moderate amount, and then you can stop it. Yeah, but no sweetener. Yeah, none of the pina colada mix or daiquiri mix or any of that.
Now, luckily, there is a really big market now for these seltzers, these hard seltzers, and more low carb versions because the ketogenic and low carb lifestyle has really caught on. So it shouldn't be that hard to find pre-made ones.
You had a momentary lapse there.
Another Monday moment.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, you go for the powder. That's what
we're talking about tracking. We're talking about measurements. As far as how often we should be doing, most individuals do best with daily tracking, daily weights. As far as the measurements, that's maybe more of a weekly thing because it's hard to see like minuscule changes in measurements day to day, but it is easy to see week to week and absolutely month to month. Now that does depend on the person. I do have conversations with some folks who say maybe weekly weights is best for them just due to the kind of psychological nature of weighing. But generally, more often is better, not more than once a day. And you want to be doing your weights in the morning without any clothes on, after you've used the restroom, before you've had anything to eat or drink. That is what we call your true weight. So when you weigh here in the office for your appointments, that is not as accurate of a weight, but it is a good thing for us to see to trend over time. So just keep that in mind, okay?
That's right. Okay, Nikki from Raleigh. I tend to be on the go most days, and packing a lunch isn't always the most convenient. Okay, Nikki, suck it up. Okay, it takes preparation and planning. I'm going to say that. Okay, try to be better at that. Key. Convenience isn't, sometimes this is a necessity. Okay, so I want you to be serious about losing weight. What are your go-to fast food places and items that would be good for keto? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay, try to pack your own stuff. Make it a priority. That means shop, have a cooler, ice pack to go in the cooler. This is undoubtedly the best way, but you got to make it a priority. It's it's always going to be inconvenient. So make yourself a priority. I want you to work at that. But you're in a situation where you can't do that. Okay. Then look, the bottom line is you got to imagine you're counting carbohydrates.
Yes.
And I always say you got to eat animals, what comes from animals, and what you grow in gardens, right? And so, there's various places, and they'll all, look, the idea of low carbohydrate diets or ketogenic diets are quite familiar to everyone now, including those in the food industry who get requests for stuff all the time. In the early 90s, Dr. Atkins came out with his second book, the Dr. Atkins Diet Revolution, I believe it was called. And Hardee's developed a whole low carb menu based on that. And they'll still make you all their stuff low carb. For example, the burgers they'll wrap it in a piece of lettuce for you.
Mhm.
Now, that's not on your
Style.
menu anymore, but you
Yeah.
can go in there. You can go through the drive-thru and say, look, I want whatever the burger is that's on the thing, and I'd like it low carb. They'll know, okay, we put fresh lettuce as the bun, and they wrap it up real nice. Surprisingly, very, very good, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
then there's, places like Chick-fil-A, for example, now they'll do grilled nuggets instead of fried nuggets, right?
Yes.
And there's all sorts of salad options there that are, quote, low carb. Watch for the kind of fruity dressings.
Yeah.
You have to kind of ask them for a different kind of dressing.
Yeah, go with ranch, blue cheese,
Exactly.
Caesar,
Yeah, right.
just oil and
Yeah.
vinegar.
So, look, I've been, it hadn't been recently, but I've been through the drive-thru at Bojangles, and I just tell them, look, I want a couple sides of scrambled eggs with a couple pieces of sausage, and could you put some cheese on it? And just melt it all in a bowl for me, and they figure it up what the price will be. It's usually about $4 roughly. And
No biscuit
right.
needed.
Exactly. So sometimes it's just a matter of going to wherever's near you, whatever, and then just saying, look, I'm on this kind of diet, can I get? And then just name off what you want, and they'll figure a price for you. And they're used to this sort of thing.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Wings are also a really good go-to. It doesn't have to be salads and nothing but salads. I think people think that. But yeah, bunless burgers, doing the grilled nuggets, doing wings. Or if you have a grocery store that has a hot bar or a salad bar, you could go there and you could just get a bunch of boiled eggs and some deli meat. Like there's very easy ways to eat conveniently, but still keep it healthy. So
okay.
Oh, we have a winner.
Whoa. Laverne Scott.
Thank you so much to everyone who entered. Laverne, you are the winner.
That's right.
We will contact you. We will message you in order to get you your gift card. And that is it. We're going to be closed next week.
That's correct. We're going to be closed next week for the Christmas week, but reopen between the week of Christmas and New Year's. We want to wish everyone a happy holiday. And thank you for tuning in to these. And sorry about the technical difficulties today.